Hi guys! Hi every knitter, hi to every crafter and anyone who found this video. I welcome you to a kind of a knit along, not in the sense that we knit the same project, but in the sense that you can watch this video while you're knitting or crafting or whatever you're doing. I'm gonna talk about knitting, crafting, whatever comes to my mind. I'm not gonna limit myself to just these topics. I'm gonna talk about anything that comes to my mind. I hope you're up for it because I actually love these kind of videos to watch because while I'm knitting, I need some entertainment. Otherwise, I go nuts. And I always look for creators on YouTube that talk about knitting and what they knit, but I've never seen people film themselves while they knit. And so that's what I'm gonna do. And I plan on making more videos like this, just honestly, just for a keepsake for me, like to see my progress on my project. So I am currently knitting the Jenny jacket. It's the V-neck version and it's by Petite Knit. You probably know her if you're in the knitting world. She's no stranger to the knitting world, I don't think. And so I'm just gonna start knitting. I'm gonna actually take you along to where I'm at in the project. So as you can tell, I finished the back yoke and it's gorgeous. This is the wrong side of it, but the right side of it is even more gorgeous. It's so scrumptious. That's like the perfect word for it. It is gorgeous. I am not exaggerating. I love this color. I love this pattern so much. I've actually started this. I don't want to lie to you, but I think only 6 days ago. So not even a week, and I've been cruising so far. So I'm already on the right or left. I don't know. No, the right. Yes, the right front yoke. And so how do I keep track of this? Because now we have the V-neck, so I have to do increases here. And what I always do is I have the pattern on my iPad right here, and then I also always write down the row that I'm on. Like if I'm on the ninth row, I will put down a 9. Or if I just completed the ninth row, I write down a 9. So I always know. And now I have to confess something. I actually forgot one increase somewhere here. And then I had to do, or I didn't have to, I mean, I had to correct it somehow, but I actually did 2 increases in the same row, which the pattern does not call for. It has the increases spaced evenly, and I'm actually kind of terrified that you're gonna be able to tell that that's what happened somewhere here. I was really sad, but it was not tragic enough to frog it and go all the way back. That would not have been worth it, I don't think. I think because there's gonna be the button band or whatever that's called, the thing that goes here is gonna be the double knitting band. I think that's gonna cover it. I'm not gonna make the same mistake on the other side just because I don't remember where it was. So it wouldn't make sense to try to replicate this mistake. I don't think, at least. I mean, you can let me know in the comments. Maybe you have experience with these kind of things, but I honestly think it's gonna be fine. I don't think anyone's gonna notice. It's only one extra stitch in the wrong row. How I think the knitting gods are gonna be gracious on that one. I hope, at least. If not, I have to, I don't know, cry, sell my soul. I don't know. Um, so where am I at? So I'm actually on the ninth row of the increases and of the right side yoke. And now I have to actually check the pattern and see where I'm at. So while I do that, I can just tell you about the pattern, and I totally recommend doing this. I know that the other versions of the Jenny jacket, the regular version, not the V-neck version, is a knitted bottom up, which I'm not the biggest fan of, and that was, I would lie if I would say that that was my criteria why I chose this and not the other one. I would totally lie if I said that. It was not the case. It was random. I just liked the look of it better, but now in hindsight, I'm really, really happy that I didn't choose the other one because I don't like bottom up knitting. I have never done it. So I don't know why I have this opinion. I just can't, I don't know. I just don't like the idea of it. It's so weird. I maybe I've heard so many people say that they don't like it that it's brainwashed me into thinking I don't like it. I hope that's not the case, but maybe I'll try it once in the future. But right now, I'm very happy with this construction because this construction I have done now, and I love. I love this construction. I'm not exaggerating. Seriously, I don't know why. It's just so satisfying to do the back yoke and then see it all come together and then pick up stitches. I don't know. I just love it. It's so great. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting too excited. I'm actually very excited about this video because I've been wanting to do videos like this for the longest time. I have made so many videos that I never published or uploaded anywhere, and now I finally feel confident enough to do so, and it just feels very exciting to me. And there's a person walking down there that I can see, and he's looking at me, and whatever, I don't care. All right, so I am on the ninth row, and it tells me to just knit as is. So I'm gonna do exactly that. And honestly, doing a pattern with this much texture is such a I don't know what to call it, but it's such a hack for some reason. Like doing only stockinette is easy and you don't have to focus or concentrate or memorize anything as much, but it gets boring. Like I have a few stockinette. No, I don't actually have any stockinette whips on my needles right now. And I also have to set a timer because I'm tracking how long it's taking me to knit this, and I'm always filming after I knit it for an hour because I want to make like a cute Instagram video. So if you want to see that, go follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna put the handle down in the description. But after each hour, I want to put it all in one reel and then show the progress and how much I get done every hour. Because I really like these kinds of videos. Where was I? I don't want to lose my train of thought all the time. I'm trying to avoid that. However, I was talking about stockinette, and I don't actually have a stockinette project right now on my needles, which is um, not unusual. I don't knit stockinette patterns as much because it doesn't excite me enough. Like I will do a stockinette project, but it's not going as fast because I get bored easily. I need stimulation, and a pattern like this gives me so much stimulation because it's so different every row, and of course like only one row every 6 or 7 rows is this stocking row, but it keeps me excited enough where I'm like, oh no, I get to do something different than stockinette. And what's curious right now, I have um how many projects do I have? I have 3 active whips right now. One of them is the Hug Me Tight sweater by Teplo Knitwear, and totally in love with the pattern, like just the way it looks, and it's I feel like it's something different because in my opinion, the tendency for knitting patterns is you don't do small needles as often. I feel like there's way more patterns for big needles, like 4, 5, especially if you're doing sweaters in that category. So what I'm doing right now is 4.5 millimeter needles, and so I'm doing the Hug Me Tight sweater on 2.5 millimeter needles. Yeah, you heard right. That's very small needles, and I'm actually it's definitely been on my needles for quite some time. I had this illusion that I was gonna be really quick with it because the beginning was very quick and I was on break from school and uni, and I thought I'm just gonna cruise through it. Wait, I actually have to. Now I completed my ninth row. Have to write it down. Sorry for this break in yapping. And now I have to go back to the pattern, and it's actually a special row because it's the 10th row where we do an increase, so I have to go back a bit. I just noticed we're doing an increase after the first. It's the wrong side row. We have to knit one. Just give me 1 second, because these are crucial moments when you know, increases and stuff like that. Phew. Can get very nasty. Do you know what I mean? Had some very nasty experiences with increases and losing track of them. But we are back on track. We are on the 10th row. Let's go. By the way, let me know what you're knitting while you're watching this. And let me just know anything that you think while you're watching this about anything I say. Alright, so where was I? The Hagami tight sweater, super small needles. I was the Lulu, thought I was gonna finish it very quickly. That was not the case. It's been on my needles for what, 2.5 months, I think? Yeah, that sounds about right. And actually, I picked it back up and I made it like one of my prioritized whips again when I went out for coffee with my boyfriend and his dad, and that was actually really nice because while you're talking to someone and you're knitting, and that's only 2x2 rib, so it's also not stockinette, but it's you don't have to memorize anything because I'm on the body and you just do plain 2x2 all the time. And that was actually really nice. I got a few centimeters done, but it made me realize how slow the process is. Like with this, with 4.5 millimeter needles, I get somewhere really fast. And that keeps me motivated. But if I knit for hours and I'm only on, I don't know, centimeter two, like, oh, it's so hopeless. But I'm not too frustrated about it because I do really like it. Like the 2x2 ribbing is actually really nice in that project. If you don't know what it looks like, I'm gonna give you the link down below so you can check it out. And you can also see it on a lot of my Instagram reels. And my other whip is a vest that I am kind of freehanding because I had this gorgeous idea of copying a real designer vest. I actually forgot the name. Maybe Belle Anderson or something like that. Maybe you know that designer. But there's a vest that the protagonist of Grownish. I don't know if you know that show, but there's this show called Grownish, and I think it's a sequel to the show Blackish. Not sure, but I think so because I didn't watch Blackish, but I watched Grownish, and I really like that show just for the styles, because they're all dressed very uniquely, and they're all fashion students. Not all of them, but the protagonist is a fashion student and she's really into fashion, and she wears this really funky vest, and it's cabled, it's colorful, and has these ribbings on the side and on the collar, that's what it's called, um, that are very colorful. And I wanted to recreate it. And I had this whole idea where I was gonna film it and show you the process. And then I bought yarn for it and I made the cables on a swatch, and I didn't like the colorfulness with the cables. It was just too much. It felt too immature in a way. And now I'm on I finished row 10. Let's go. And now we're on row 11, which is just a regular. Great. So I didn't finish the idea of me recreating that vest. If you're interested, I'm also going to link you the vest if you want to see what that looked like. And I decided to just make a regular vest. I mean, it's still very funky because it's very colorful, and you can see it on my Instagram as well. I show it in one of my whip updates, but I'll also make a more detailed video on that maybe when I'm actively knitting on this, and I'm gonna make another yap along, knit along kind of situation. This is a yap along. I refer to this video as a yap along. So anyways, so I'm also knitting that, which is lovely. It's also 4.5 millimeter needles. I'm making the ribbings on the arms and the collar in a also colorful way. I chose yellow and pink, and it's just very funky. I don't think I'm gonna wear it to work because that would be a bit funky. I don't want to generalize people or have stereotypes or think of people in stereotypes too much. But that vest calls for an artsy person and an artsy professional workspace, and I'm not that. I'm completely corporate. Like the work I am at, unfortunately, is a very, very corporate. Not in the sense that we all wear suits, thank God, no, I don't have to wear anything fancy, but I do have to seem a bit professional, unfortunately. I'm in the finance, banking sector, not in the traditional banking that you would think of now, but more in the government supervision sector of banking, and there it's more low key because we don't actually have customers and stuff like that, but still people there they expect some sort of professionalism, unfortunately. So I can't really go in there with my really colorful funky vest. I feel like an art teacher could totally do that. I feel like my art teacher was not very colorful, but for some reason, I always think of art teachers as these creative, funky people that wear funky, colorful stuff. I don't know. Now I'm going on a very steep hill, I feel like. So, yeah, those are my current whips, and I try to limit myself to 4 whips, which, if you now count it with me, only have 3 active whips. So I actually could cast on another whip, and I already have some ideas what that might be. So I have 2 options. Maybe you can help me decide on what you would do. So I made the hipster beanie by Petite Knit for my boyfriend. I already finished it. That was a blast. Really loved it. I think it looks amazing. He wears it every day, which is such a compliment. Oh my god, isn't that the best compliment anyone could give you? Wearing something that you made them. Oh, I just also love him for wearing it that much. Because I was scared he wouldn't. But it turned out amazing. The color he chose is gorgeous. And so I have the idea to also knit myself a hipster beanie because honestly, I really want one as well. And I might want one in a navy blue or a blue, but I already have like a store bought blue beanie, so I'm not quite sure. I also would love magenta for some reason. Like right now, I'm really into magenta. Never liked that color, but now I'm like digging it a lot. So, wait 1 second, I have to write down that I finished the 11th row, and now let's go on to the 12th, which again is the same. So, I want a beanie, and I've been dreaming and fantasizing about knitting a sweater. Also by Petite Knit, the Olga sweater. Olga. Olga. Very hard word to say. But I just love the look of it. It's so casual and I could totally wear that to work. But I also have like crazy color combination in mind. It's not that crazy. I think it's very trendy right now on Instagram at least. I want it to be very soft. And I think I might gift it to me, like the yarn, for my birthday, because my birthday is coming up. And I thought, why not get myself some beautiful, fancy, like really fancy yarn, and then make the Olga sweater with it. Ah, that's my dream. But if I get something that fancy, I really need to like the outcome of it. And maybe I can actually show you the color combination. I have it right here. Um, that is the first color that I thought of. This baby pink, and it's Cardiff cashmere. Ah, isn't it gorgeous? So that was the first color, and the second color that I want, maybe, I'm not sure yet, I have to make the swatch, is this one. I think this could actually look like something that I love. Is it not focusing? Oh yeah. And I just dropped my whip. Uh-oh. Dropped my project. Sorry for that. It's gonna be loud, maybe. So, let's continue. So yeah, the Olga sweater. Let me know if you like that color combi. I don't know. In German, it's combi. So pick your version. All right. So I told you about the Olga sweater, and now my idea is that I will make a swatch. Oh, look at that hair. Always so many hairs in my whips. Beautiful. Anyways, so I'm gonna make a swatch with these two colors, see if I like it. And also, the pattern doesn't recommend this Cardiff cashmere yarn because it is so expensive. My god. I mean, I would make all of my projects in that yarn, but then I would go broke pretty quickly. Like, that's not sustainable at all, unfortunately. And it's so hyped. Like I saw so many people recommend this, like Florence by Handmade by Florence, and also some other YouTubers that are in the knitting scene. And I just got totally influenced into loving that because then I went to my local yarn store and they have it. And so I touched it and I was like, I love it. I love it so much. Of course. Of course it is this nice and that expensive. Like, of course, I love the most expensive anything. I was just born with that expensive taste. Anyways, anyways. I will probably cast this on after I did the swatch for it and after I decided that I liked that color combo. And then I have 4 whips on my needles. And yeah, it's actually rare that I have these large projects. Like usually I always have one small project that I can take with me anywhere I go. But now kind of the Hug Me Tight sweater is my small project cuz it looks ridiculously small. Oh my. It looks like it's for a baby, and even my boyfriend's dad made fun of me and he asked me if I am making this for myself or for a literal newborn. And I was like, haha, funny. No, this is actually for me. That's it's stretchy. It's gonna be blocked. Come on. Don't be ridiculous. I did a gauge swatch, so I will know if it fits or not. No, I'm just kidding. It does look ridiculously small, but it's kind of annoying, you know? And you have to explain to non knitters that you actually know what you're doing, even though I don't actually know what I'm doing most of the time. But that's besides the point. So now we're on an exciting row. We're on row 13. Now I actually have to concentrate a little bit more. And we are gonna do the smocking pattern now. Super exciting. See, you always get something different with a pattern like that. Love it. Also, picking this color was actually really hard. I didn't anticipate choosing a plain color like that, and by plain I mean white. I don't know. I don't own anything in this color, which actually makes sense that I'm then choosing that color. Uh, anyways, I say anyways after every sentence, so please don't get annoyed by that, or do, and then tell me to shut up. I don't care. I am open to criticism, which is the biggest lie ever. I'm not actually open to criticism. Like, of course I am. Like, if you have to criticize me, do. Like, please do so, because I like to learn, I like to grow, but saying that criticism comes easy to me is the biggest lie. Criticism does not come easy to me. I don't know about you guys, but in life, like in actual life, if I write something at work, like a paper, I don't actually write papers, but I mean like a report or something that somebody else has to check and revise and give feedback on, I literally am scared so much. Like, I'm terrified of that. I'm terrified of somebody else giving me feedback. And it's so weird because rationally, and if I think about it like in a calm situation and like right now, I'm like, obviously feedback is nothing bad. It's not gonna hurt me, or it's just gonna make me grow and learn and whatever. Ugh. But for some reason, after I turn something in, I'm like terrified. I don't know if you guys can relate, but I need to really, really work on that because feedback is so important, and I want to be able to give other people feedback if what they're doing is not correct or they could do it in a better way. So having people that don't react to feedback in a positive way is actually very detrimental, I think, to um group settings in general. And but I also expect something from others that I can't fulfill, which is so often the case. I feel like we have higher standards sometimes for other people than we actually have to ourselves. I don't know. Or maybe only I do, but that's also besides the point. But that's maybe also something about knitting that I really like. I don't know, you don't ever get feedback. Maybe that's why I like it. That's actually not a good thing. You only get. Is it just me, or do you always only get good feedback on knitting? Like, I've never had someone tell me that my knitting looks awful. Isn't that funny? And I also would never tell someone that their knitting looks awful, because. And that's maybe the beauty of it. Maybe that's where we'll end things today, but that's maybe a very beautiful thought. That knitting is so safe in the way that you will not criticize my knitting or give me feedback on it because it's not intended to be liked by everyone. It's so subjective. I'm not actually doing this pattern or this project because I want to impress anyone. I'm actually just doing it so that I can wear it and I love it. Like, that's the only reason. I don't like obviously it's nice if other people tell me your knitting or my knitting looks beautiful and they really like it, but it doesn't mean as much to me. And also, it wouldn't mean as much if someone told me that it looks awful, because I like it, and that's actually the only thing that matters. And that's somehow beautiful that we have that one place in this one setting where we don't get feedback because it doesn't need to impress you. It just needs to impress me. Unless I gift it to someone, then the other person should also like it, hopefully, but that's also a different story. Well, I'm gonna finish this row and then I'm gonna call it a day, and I'm gonna be so excited to read in the comments if anyone watches this, which would be exhilarating. But if you have any additional thoughts or anything you want to tell me about your knitting, I'm super curious. And also super curious about your whips and if you have any suggestions for the aforementioned ideas that I have. And I will see you in the next video, hopefully soon. I'm gonna keep you updated on the Jenny jacket because it's going somewhere. It is looking gorgeous. And let me know if you've made this pattern before and what your way is of keeping track of where you are. All right, so last smocking, and I see you next time.